I don't even know if this is going to work. My brother has a problem, an addiction. Let me tell you when I first realized. I was just sitting at home one day minding my own business, and then my phone kept going off. And I'm pretty low key, so I was shocked. I was like a bunch of DMs on Instagram, people I've never spoken to before. And they're all saying, get a handle on your brother. Hey, do you mind letting him know this is too much? And I was so confused until they showed me their Instagram activity. And it was all Steven. Going back to 2015, 2013, liking these girls' first photos. And I just couldn't believe it. It was getting out of control. So everybody thought, let's get him on Twitter. That'll help him out. But I kept telling everybody, this is a bad idea. Twitter is a dark place. It's only going to get worse for him. And it did. The next thing that I knew, all he was retweeting was porn, e-girls, hot girls from music videos. It was just all thirst traps. And I couldn't believe that I let him get this far. I mean, I'm his older sister and I let him. No basketball highlights, no news, not even a meme, nothing else. Titties and ass every turn. And I thought that this is all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay until I saw him retweet a girl's Patreon saying that he was about to subscribe to her premium plan. He's already got like 4 girls on premium Snapchat, and I just don't know what else to do at this point. It's taking over our lives. Our father left. Our mom moved him across states. He's in Kentucky. I don't even see him anymore. And I just thought this would be good for him. But instead, he just used this as another excuse to make the problem worse. Now all he does is sit on his phone. And it's just... I can't help him anymore. And I'm just reaching out for some answers. I'm reaching out for some help. Please, somebody help my brother with his addiction to thirst traps.
So I had been begging Steve since I met him to get an Instagram because he's always been a very creative soul, and I knew Instagram would be a place he would thrive. There's so many amazing things on there for people, and I don't know why, but thirst traps never even entered my mind. I wish they would have, because there's so many things I would take back.
So, this is for Steven Dario. Yeah, he was a decent worker. He was okay, I guess. I mean, he just had a really weird addiction. He would just sit there on his phone and look at women on Instagram. Not necessarily women. There were men, too. Just very provocative situations, you know? We worked like in a water park. People coming by in bikinis, barely clothed, but here he was just on the internet looking into it more. He's a very odd fella, too. One time I walked into the bathroom and he was in there for a while. He asked to take a break. It was like 40 minutes or so. So I asked him what was going on, if he was okay. I saw a little blood under the stall, so of course I tried to hop over to help him. Sure enough, you know, pants around the ankle, here he is just on the ground, and on his phone, just some woman cooking, in only an apron. Very odd fella. Nice guy, though.
I remember when Steven first started looking at thirst traps, it was normal, you know, regular. I would catch him maybe like every few times we hung out. Nothing weird. Just like every other, you know, guy. Didn't matter. And I don't want to say that I enabled it, but I definitely didn't think it was going to turn into anything as serious as it was. I don't think I understood what exactly he was getting himself into. I don't think I saw the hole he was falling into.
I always felt like there was something inside of Steven that was eating him from the inside out. It was almost like a cry for help. I remember back in high school when we were a bunch of wide-eyed little dick kids that we had a free period in English, and he went to go show me something on his tablet, and Pornhub was open, and you know, I was like, who doesn't watch porn? But then I started thinking about it. I was like, man, it's like he wanted to get caught. Like, who doesn't close their tabs out? So maybe I thought Instagram would be good for him, so we introduced him to Instagram, and then he starts following all these thirst traps like Demi Rose and Bernice Burgos, and it got to the point where it was like, all right, man, he's just dropping 300 likes a day on bitches that don't even know he exists. So then I was like, hey, man, check out Twitter. You know, maybe a little Twitter beef will be good for you. But then what he started doing is he started following these anti-Twitter lewd cosplayers. And a couple weeks back, he even started following just straight up BDSM porn. And he's just been retweeting it on his timeline. And I don't know what to do, man. It's like a call for help. I mean, the only thing that's left is for him to subscribe to a fans only. And then we'll really lose him.
And it just spiraled. It got so bad. Thirst traps all the time, every day. Whenever I would see him, he wouldn't be focused on anything but thirst traps. That's all he could talk about. That's all he wanted to do. Just look at thirst traps. Driving. He was driving once. He almost got into a car accident because he was searching for thirst traps. It was just getting out of control.
You know, I remember like it was yesterday. He just came to get me, came to pick me up, hopped in his car, he was looking on his phone. Didn't really think anything of it, you know, he's putting on music. We had a pretty long drive ahead of us. And then, about half an hour through, I realize he's still messing with his phone, and I look over, and he's just looking at thirst traps. Mind you, we're driving on the road. Before I know it, oh God, there were just kids everywhere, all over the front of the car. He didn't realize we just drove through a playground, and I just don't know what to say anymore. He just needs help, okay? He just needs help.
And I don't know. I know people have given him ultimatums, and he's lost very close people because he's picked thirst traps over them.
I met Steven about 2 years ago. I myself am a recovering thirst trap addict. I gave my life to the Lord about 3 years ago, and I have been straight and narrow ever since. When I met him, I thought he was a wonderful person. We could be mates, and I wanted to give him what I gained, but it wasn't so. I noticed over time that rather than leading him to the Lord's light, he was leading me back to the bitches, for lack of a better term. And after a while, I had to distance myself from him. I have nothing but love and the utmost respect for him, but I can't be around him and his lifestyle. I am praying for his delivery. You have a problem, Steven. Please seek help.
And I don't want to be the friend that walks away when he needs me the most. But he's in so deep and I don't know what to do anymore. He needs to want the help and he doesn't want help. He wants to find all these thirst traps and look at all these thirst traps. He doesn't want the help. And I just don't know what to do. I can't walk away from him in this time of need when he's clearly got a problem, but I can't keep sitting around and just knowing when he's on his phone, he's looking at thirst traps and just not saying anything about it. I can't keep enabling him, you know? I don't know. If you told me a year ago that this is where Stephen would be today, you know, I'd kind of believe you, but that's another topic for another day.